here. Come on, y'all, holler out. Let them know we're here. We got special guests with us tonight. So we're always glad to have some new faces in the house. But you know how we do it. We start our sessions out with our favorite segment, What's Up With That? So at this time, let's hear it as we throw it to our co-host, Ari. When we ask the question, what's up with that?
What's up, guys? Welcome to our world. If you are new, just tap the screen and give us some hearts. If you're old, tap the screen and give us some hearts. We would love the love. We just do this segment. It's basically a current event situation and pretty unsolicited. Any opinion goes. If you would like to share your comments or concerns, you can. Ooh, but don't try me though. Okay. You can call us at this number right here, or you can just text us in your little message box right there. We'll read and everything. This number here, I don't ever say it because I get it wrong every time. Okay, so we're gonna just dive right in. Oh, but don't. Oh.
The United States Military Academy is investigating a group of graduating cadets who posed in uniform with their fists raised in the air. The picture shows 16 African-American women in the West Point class of 2016. Conservative bloggers say their pose supports the Black Lives Matter movement. The women's supporters say the gesture is nothing more than a symbol of unity and solidarity. Anna Werner's here with how the photo could land the cadets in trouble. Anna, good morning.
Good morning, Charlie. Well, members of the armed forces are barred from engaging in political activity while in uniform. Some say there was no political message behind their gesture, but some of their fellow cadets aren't so sure.
The female cadets actually took 3 group photos, but this one, with their fists raised, is what raised eyebrows. The picture was sent to bloggers and the Army Times newspaper last week by people who were concerned it was a statement about police killings of unarmed African Americans. Retired Brigadier General Donald Smith supports the West Point investigation.
I thought it was a strange picture, just the fact that, that people are making a fist. What were they trying to connote by that?
Defense Department rules say members on active duty should not engage in partisan political activity.
We follow orders from a chain of command, and for everyone to be out there just giving their own opinions would be absolutely detrimental to good order and discipline.
2003 West Point graduate Mary Tobin mentors 4 of the women in the photograph. She says the cadets were merely showing pride at their accomplishments.
They had no idea that the photograph would be viewed through any negative lens.
Tobin also says there is a tradition at the military academy of posing in old Corps photos, a way for current cadets to pay homage to earlier generations.
Some of us need to check our biases at the door and ask ourselves, why did we find something negative in that picture instead of finding something positive?
In sports, the raised fist has been a symbol of success, as well as of defiance. Beyoncé used it earlier this year at the Super Bowl halftime show and was accused of paying tribute to the Black Panthers, a militant Black power group. But Tobin says these cadets are not aligned with any political movements.
This whole incident is a distraction to them. Their worry is that soldiers within their units that they will be leading soon will have an unfair impression about them.
West Point responded to CBS News with a statement from its Director of Public Affairs. It said, quote, an inquiry into this matter is currently ongoing. We can confirm that the cadets in this photo are members of the U.S. military's Academy class of 2016.
So the timer kept running, but I looked at a few different stations that covered this story. CNN, Fox, blah, 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 blah. I picked CBS though because they actually talked to a Black person. They just kept talking to old veterans who were white. And obviously, white people don't know what it's like to be Black. You know what I mean? That's just what it is. So obviously though, I listened also to The Breakfast Club. I don't know if you guys know that show, right? The radio show in New York. They asked their viewers or listeners what they thought about it. A lot of military people called in and said that's the rule. You don't show any, political views or whatever while you're wearing the uniform. Doesn't matter what you do outside, but if you're in uniform, if you're on active duty, it would behoove you, which is why it's a rule, to not show any political statement. At the same time, one of the guys presented a point that I thought was really good. He was like, if white cadets had done that same picture, it'd be seen as, oh yeah, they're just brotherhood strong, but because black people did it, or are they Black Panthers, or are they Black Lives Matter, so they get, put under much scrutiny. So he said he didn't have a problem with it. He was an active military personnel, and he said he didn't have a problem with it. Whereas another person said, because of the racism that people do experience at West Point, they should have thought farther than let's just all take a picture fists up, and seen how it could have had a negative connotation, because the mentor said that she didn't think it was going to have, they didn't think they were going to be seen in a negative light. But given the situation, like, could you be ignorant to the fact that it would be seen in a negative light? Yeah. So that also makes you think about their intention. So I don't know what you guys
You mean
agree?
the cadets?
The cadets' intention, like, they're the only 16 black females that are graduating in a class of 1,000 at West Point.
Right.
You have to be some kind of smart.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You have to be some kind of aware. So it does, like, from my point of view, would you not think that people would associate it with, Beyonce just now? She got hit with a lot of scrutiny because her dancers were dressed as Black Panthers and stuff like that. Like, do you not think it would have been?
But I mean, why would you?
It could be.
But why would you think it's negative? Like she said, you need to check yourself. Why would you think just holding up a fist? Like you said, it was a history of racism with that.
Mm-hmm. In that school, yeah.
Because they picking.
Yeah, you
But they're a double minority as well. They're women and they're black.
Are they the only women?
No, I don't think
they're
the only
black
women.
women.
They're
They're
black
black
women.
Only black
One of
women.
my questions
All
was
the black
what
women.
brought them together as a group?
Right.
That's what
Just
I'm
like
saying. There's
Because
But
there's
just
not
like
many
at
blacks.
Yeah, but
There's a lot of race.
But
Right,
they're
but-
all
but-
together in one picture
Yeah.
with their fist pump.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Are there other women? Because there's no other
white
race
women
of white women in there.
Like,
I
let's
wonder
say
if
if
the
white
white
women
would
were
have been
in
in
there
doing
putting
that.
up their
I wonder
It would
if
have
they
been
got the
different.
same.
It would not have the same.
They
It would
probably
not.
are sending the message.
That's what
I
I
think
personally
they
think,
are.
which is why, because they haven't,
Of course.
they haven't responded to any
Yeah.
any media.
Exactly.
Maybe they want discussion. Maybe they want you to talk about what's going on.
Or
But
they
it
have
also
orders for
brings
black
to-
pride. They're
I
probably like,
understand that, but it also brings light to the entity that you've decided to be a part of. They are neutral.
Exactly.
They have to be neutral. So
Exactly.
despite who the president is, despite who your commanding leader is, you all have one goal. You
and
get what
that
I
is,
mean?
and that is a rule.
But
Yeah.
my thing is, if there's prejudice going on, maybe they wanted this discussion to, bring out
Because
that.
something's
It's always a
happening.
reason why.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, they know there's a rule, no political gestures or anything.
Yeah.
Maybe they wanted to invoke discussion.
Just something spotting.
Yeah, but
they're violating
they-
the entity that they stand
Maybe
for.
they think it's worth getting in trouble.
Well, they
That
think
could
they
be-
could also
Maybe.
be expelled or dismissed from that class,
Yeah.
and they graduate in a week.
Yeah.
So
They're probably
Yeah.
not going to be able to walk.
But it's a lot of
But
stuff.
isn't that how a lot of progression took place? Somebody
Right.
had to be.
Somebody had to
Like
make
the
the waves.
sacrifice.
But that's what's wrong with people. They don't want to make the waves. They want to go right to the back of
Right,
the bus.
right.
They don't want to sit
Somebody-
in the front of the bus.
Somebody's always.
Somebody got to make waves.
Be the lamb.
If they have a history of prejudice, and those girls got together, evidently something is
Something
going on.
had to happen.
Something is going on.
Because the only way rules get broken or adjusted or amended or updated
Somebody
is by
got
somebody
taking a
going
stand.
against the status
Going
quo.
against their own.
well,
I
I
don't
don't think
do
it's
it.
a threat though.
Why would it be a
Why would
threat?
they feel like it's a
But
threat?
because
what
that's
I'm
how
saying.
their minds, that's how people minds. When black people get together,
Because that was a powerful.
What they're trying to do. They holding the fist up Black Panthers. See? It's not like Black Power or unity.
Yes.
Or we made it. Maybe this is like we made it. That's what I'm taking it. I'm saying like we made it. We the first 16 Black. I'm not taking it. They trying to start something. We made it.
Right.
But that's how you see it as a Black person.
Yeah.
That's
But
right.
see, but why would white people or Black people see that it's a threat?
Because during the civil rights movement, that was a threat.
Well, you're
That was
being
one of the most
Black being
that
like
was
this.
the most powerful
Right,
movement.
right.
That they actually killed the leader.
Right.
They actually killed the leader because this is a sign of unity.
Unity.
And one of the things that was constantly said about King and X was their power to unite and unify. Because even if you take that and let's put a biblical twist on it, Pharaoh did the same thing. Don't let them know who they are. Because they're greater than us, actually. They're more than we are. If they ever come together and unify, they can defeat us. So whenever they see
that picture alone
unity
right.
coming
That's
along,
right.
to them,
That's right.
historically, that's like, okay, wait a minute, what are they trying to do? Are they sending some subversive message? Because it's not just the 16 that they're unifying.
Right.
And whoever took that picture.
It's whoever comes after them.
It's whoever comes after them and the people that embrace them, like, yeah, cool. All right,
This
we're with
might
you.
make and break
Creates a
West
swell.
Point. It will. Because if they have a problem with racism, it's going to come out.
It is
But
look,
They're
West
known
Point,
for
West
being
Point didn't-
prejudiced
They
already.
didn't even accept
Women.
blacks and even
Blacks
women.
or
Or
women.
women.
So somebody had to go against that
Exactly.
right.
in order for it to be where it
I'm
is
fine with
today.
that. I don't think
So
it's a
progression
problem.
has to have,
Yeah.
resistance.
Right.
Right.
There has to be a resistance in order for progression.
And you got to
take
be
place.
willing to risk.
Yeah.
And people
gotta
are not
sacrifice.
willing to take the sacrifice. They're not
Gotta be
willing
a
to die.
sacrificial lamb.
People want to go to heaven, but they're not willing to die.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So unity or political?
Unity to me. Could be
Unity.
both.
I think
Could be both.
it's both.
Yeah.
It could be both.
Yeah,
It
both.
could be both.
What's political?
Swing's good for our terms. You guys, if you like what you're hearing, even if
That's a
you
good
don't,
clip.
just tap the screen. We just want some hearts, okay? So if you would like to share your comments and concerns, this number right in this general direction. Okay.
I remember this one. So.
Yeah, you posted this a
Yes.
month ago.
Yes.
So the first box says, it's an old guy. I self-identify as a woman. The crowd goes, so great, awesome, you are stunning. The second box, I self-identify as an African American. She's a white lady with blonde hair. You're an inspiration, beautiful, yes. This lady down here, I self-identify as a cat. Good for meow. So brave, hero. I self-identify as a Christian. Weirdo, boo, stop living in a fairy tale.
Oh, wow.
Two comments that I thought stood out. This would also explain why mainstream broadcasts don't televise many Christian movies, shows, etc., but let one well-known believer fall or make a mistake, it's worldwide news.
Yes.
Problem with this is that 70% of Americans self-identify as Christians. Majorities tend to do the persecuting, not the other way around. And then obviously you had people quoting John 15, or 14:15. I'll read it. We'll be persecuted because we are Christians, because we have the light, and I'll just read it. Just give me 2 seconds. I don't know. It's an unpopular. The world would love you as one of its own if you belong to it, but you are no longer part of the world. I chose you to come out of the world, so it hates you. So, obviously people
Oh my
hesitate. Yeah, they hesitate to say that they're Christian because they don't want to be looked at this way. But then what does that say to us as, you know what I mean? Like, what does that say about us if we're not willing to just say, yeah.
That has several meanings right there.
It's satire for real.
It is.
Depth.
Because, you know, this
depth.
big thing with the bathrooms and what you identify yourself with. And you got this man, imagine, he identifies himself as being a woman. And he goes into the woman's bathroom.
With a beard and all.
With a beard and all. You know, I'm looking at that, and then the Christian part of it. Oh, wow. Mm.
But this says nothing about physicality at all.
It's just...
It's a choice. All of these are choices, but all of these alter...
Yes.
Yeah.
Your makeup.
Yes.
Except
and this
for
is
that.
just a proclamation of what you believe. You know what I mean?
Okay, I understand.
You get what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's like, why is this so offensive? Why is this so dangerous? Why is it so taboo?
I mean, just look at all the stuff going on, like the whole like gay marriage, transgender issues, and you know, trying to have rights for transgender. I mean, if you read the Bible, you know, it kind of goes against all those type of things. So it, you know, as you know, other people looking at us as Christians, it's like we're looking at them like, oh, we hate you, we don't like you because we don't believe in that and we don't support it. So that's really what it comes down to.
I think that's an
I mean,
excellent
look
point.
at what it says. Stop living in a fairy tale. Like how? How
Yeah.
is being a Christian living in a fairy tale when it's based on the Bible? That's the part
Because
that
they
I'm
think
like,
the Bible is a fairy tale.
yeah, it's
Wow.
like, but how? But you read Harry Potter. I don't get it. But okay.
Yes,
You want to be a
that's a good
vampire.
Right.
You are trying to.
But see, that's the point. They believe that your belief system is just as wacky as theirs.
Wow.
To be a vampire, to read Harry Potter, Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy is no different than your belief than Jonah and the whale, the snake, you know,
The wall falling with a
the
shout.
walls, you're falling down with just shouting.
Yeah.
A virgin born, a baby born of a virgin. They're like,
How?
which one? Come on, which one sounds crazier?
Yeah.
And the other point I think you bring up is really good is that because you know, when you think about this, to be a Christian is very challenging and different because you immediately send the message that he's sending. I have standards, values, limitations. And so they're like, come on, get with the program. Nobody's doing that anymore.
Yeah.
You do whatever you want and do whatever you feel. But we know what you're going to come and say. Only a man and a woman. No sex before marriage. Come on, you're living in the dark ages. Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's why they say, come on, get a life. It flies in the face of morality.
But wouldn't it be like reverse discrimination if we're going to talk about the bathroom things?
Right.
The percentage of transgender or already transitioning, I couldn't think of the word. Transitioning people, that's a very small percentage compared to the actual majority. And why in this case is the minority running things? Do you get what I mean? Like, why are we not allowing, but for lack of a better term, why are we allowing them, or why are we not just requiring them to make their own space instead of being a dead center in how everything else works?
Caitlyn Jenner. To be honest, I feel like if Bruce Jenner didn't transition into a woman, I feel like I wouldn't know as many, you know, transgender issues because I'm going to school for social work for my master's, and that's all we talk about in our class is transgender issues and how do we approach that with social work. So it's kind of like, I feel like if he didn't really make that step and make it so big and bold and all that stuff, and they praised him for that, I honestly don't think that all the stuff that's going on with like policies and, you know, all the stuff going on with state laws in regards to the restrooms, I feel like that really wouldn't be happening.
So it's just more at the forefront.
Yeah, I feel like it's
the
more
agenda
at the
is
forefront.
there.
Yeah, I feel like it's now up front.
Right.
Because I feel like if he didn't really transition, I don't think this would be going on.
I mean, that would have to be kind of related to, for them, what Rosa Parks kind of did for us. You know what I mean? Gave
someone had to go
them the confidence to be like, you know what, this is how I am.
Yeah.
This is what I feel. I don't want to be bound by what society or what the norm is. You know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's, as you can see, our world is getting more and more confused. The lines are like disappearing, and it's like, I don't know. I have a almost 2-year-old daughter, and I struggle with it because I'm like, I don't know how I'm gonna explain this to her because this wasn't my reality growing up. You know what I mean?
I think it's gonna be second nature to them.
Probably.
Someone told me when they grow up, because I have grandchildren coming up in this world, and it's gonna be like, okay, he's a tranny, because they call him a tranny.
Yeah.
It's like second
It's
nature.
not normal.
It's like normal. People talk about it.
To us, it's like taboo. We're like, what?
That's why we
then
need
for
to be
them,
talking about it
it's
more.
so normal. Just something else I can be.
Let me tell you, I mentioned about transgender in my training. This is training for smaller children. The representative she went in attack mode. Oh, we're not going to talk about no drags here and all that. I was like, and I'm not even a tranny, and I got offended. Why would you even say that? I mean, come on, you have to talk about these issues. These children might be raised by transgender parents. And she's like, oh, no, we're not going to talk about it. So that means we're going to bury our head in the sand. That's the problem. Even with Christians, they don't want to talk about gays. They don't want to talk about transgender. They don't want to talk about homosexuality.
They don't want to talk about sex before marriage.
They don't want to
talk about
all those
anything.
issues. They don't want to talk about. So when the kids go, let me Google it.
Yeah.
Let me Google it. Since you're not going to talk about it.
Or let me
I'm
just
gonna
turn
Google
on VH1.
Oh, yeah.
Or BET or mainstream television.
That'll tell me.
Yeah, for sure.
It's sad.
Oh, and I want to keep going. Please.
Interesting.
Thank you. Guys, if you're there, because I know you are, tap your screen, and then these lovely rainbow of hearts. You get your own color, you guys. Come on, you don't want to see your own color? Tap the screen and give us some hearts. Or you can, you can call us at this number and give us your comments, concerns, etc. And please, this is how it works.
What's happening?
Oh, boy.
What's happening?
Uh-oh, let me turn this down. And I would like for you to say.
Trump has to be the next president. American history dictates it. If you understand American history, then you'll understand why I think Donald Trump will be the 45th president of the United States. Every bold advancement of freedom in America is always met with an equally bold racist backlash. Like the emancipation of the slaves and Reconstruction being met by our old friend Jim Crow. Or how desegregation of schools and public spaces birthed a wave of resegregation in the 80s. Remember the Voting Rights Act of 1965? A half century later, we have poll lines so long, they disenfranchise those who can't afford to wait. And new laws are excluding countless citizens who have voted their whole lives. So, when we voted against the odds to elect the first black president 8 years ago, when we had a clear symbol that the country is literally becoming more black, why shouldn't we have expected his successor to be the meanest, whitest, most vile bigot possible? The very same guy who demanded to see Obama's birth certificate to prove he was a real American. And when protesters demanded that Black Lives Matter, why shouldn't we have anticipated the rise of a candidate who encourages violence against peaceful demonstrators? President Trump would fit right into American history. And, like Presidents Jefferson, Jackson, FDR, Reagan, Clinton, and yes, even Obama, President Trump will continue our American tradition of leaders who expand the empire through the suffering of people of color. I'm waiting for the year 2043, when this white supremacist nation becomes mostly non-white. That's when true political revolution might be possible. But till then, in its final 27 years, some of the dying white majority are so desperate to hold on to their dwindling power, it will come as no surprise when they follow history's pattern and elect a reactionary, racist, sexist man. And that's why a Trump presidency would be as historically American as the bald eagle, indigenous genocide, the Three-Fifths Clause, mass incarceration, and apple pie.
This Donald Trump thing, it's not all about you. They've been saying it about American elections for at least 50 years. But this year, it's truer than ever.
So, watching this again for like the 5th time, I disagree with some of the stuff he says. Obviously, I think he's addressing the older white community that lived, 40s, 50s, 60s, like when they would be phasing out, I guess you could say. Because a lot of white people nowadays, especially millennial whites, I think they very much understand, to a point, they very much understand what the black struggle is. Because I've seen a lot of BuzzFeed videos, blog articles on Black Lives Matter, why black people are so passionate about, things that are happening in their community, and, people addressing like, well, if that was happening to you, you would feel the same exact way. I don't know what you guys think.
I have to just say something. So I watched Scandal.
Oh, Lord.
And we were just, you guys aren't gonna know him. What's his name again?
Oh, I know. He's the one that
Doyle.
Yes.
Ooh.
That's Donald Trump, y'all.
Yo, they're like legit. It's a mirror.
Legit
mirroring of what Trump is doing now. And I was like, they record mad early. So I'm like, how do they know this stuff is happening? And so Olivia went to go talk to him, and he was just like, you really think I believe in this racist stuff? He was like, at the end of the day, I just have to build up the people who needs to vote for me.
Ignorant.
Wow.
That's it. He said, I have to portray this. So I have the KKKs. I have all these people who are going to vote for me. But you think I really believe this?
Desi believes that if and when he gets into office, he's gonna switch up his whole game.
I don't think he's gonna switch up.
That's Desi's theory, is that he's too smart of a man to be making ignorant comments like this.
And look at his track record of how hypocritical he is now to how he felt when he was younger and in the more racist era.
Yeah, he really does feel like he's gonna switch up his whole game.
Donald Trump knows what he's doing.
Yeah, you can't be a billionaire. You can't be a dumb billionaire. Like, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You cannot use it.
You're saying the same thing. He knows what he's doing.
Exactly. What do you guys think about what he said about how, it sort of had a twinge of satire in it, obviously, but I really do feel like he feels as though Trump's going to be president just because that's the way things go. And that no one else could be president just based on polls, you know what I mean? And purely because the country is a majority white, you know what I mean? So, I don't know what you guys think.
Well, I think there's some truth to the polarization. One era creates a polarization for another. In other words, you've got this one movement that's strong. So, because I think that again, I'm always trying to look at the broader picture of it and the moral content of it. The enemy always works in extremes. He always has. He's never worked in a balance. I think Obama's probably been one of the most balanced presidents we've had ever in a long time.
Right.
But the enemy usually works with extremes. Way over here or way over here, never brings it back. So it makes a lot of sense that it would go from one extreme to another. Because when you look at most of society, they're on extremes. You've got blacks, whites, you've got rich, poor, you've got Republicans, Democrats, you've got conservative, you got liberal. You don't see a whole lot of middle ground. The moderate, you didn't even hear about the moderate in this election. Usually you hear a moderate voice, but there hasn't even been a moderate voice in this one. So everything's been kind of extreme. So there could be a little bit to the patternization, that's the word, that he's talking about. If you look at it in the context in which he's presented it, most of us look at everything in a microcosm because we're only looking at 4 years to 8 years. But when you look at it over the totality of history, you can see, wow, there is a pattern to this shifting from one extreme to the other.
I think it kind of reminds me of how like history kind of repeats itself in a way. So
pattern, yeah.
it's a, like you said, it is a pattern, and it does tend to repeat itself. I mean, so in a way, I honestly wouldn't be surprised if he became president.
Yeah. He thinks though he has to wait till 2043. Do you really think he has to? He's like, wait, 27 years from now. Let's see how it goes. Till the white majority is not majority anymore, because Hispanics are coming up close to the black percentage.
Right.
They're going to surpass us in the next 20 years. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then they would be the majority minority here. I don't know what our Asian or Middle Eastern statistics are, but pretty sure.
Well, like I said before, again, why I think the millennial generation should be the focus, actually is the focus, whether they like it or not, for the next 27 years, the next 20, 30 years, this millennial mindset and generation will be influencing our world. And I can clearly see how it can get rid of that majority and take over. Because, back to our previous conversation, you are looking at your daughters now and going, wow, really, they're going to come from this world. But we're looking at this generation and saying, you guys just kind of accept everybody now. Which is why it's not a big deal for that generation to say, come in and join us, because we know what it... See, it looks as if though they are agreeing with their ideologies, and they're not. They're just saying, we combine with you because we're the rejected as well. So come hang with us.
So we're okay with you being who you are because we are who we are.
Because we are who we are, and we know what it feels like for you not to be accepted by this current generation. So just come hang with us until they're all gone.
Desi and I went to high school, the Cap School of the Arts, and there we had lots of different people, quirky people, weird people, artistic. We're all artistic people. And I'll speak for the people who are gay now. In high school, they weren't quite sure. And it wasn't that, and that's the one thing I loved about my high school. We weren't like, ooh, you're gay. It was just like, ooh, are you going to tell us? Like, so he was guessing, like, that was the only thing. Like,
that's true. That's
not
fair.
You're cool. You the one that got to figure it out.
That's
like,
what I'm saying.
No, like, that's how
Right.
we were. And I think that's what Pastor James is saying too, is that's how we are as a generation. Like, you just have to decide. Just let us know.
Just tell us where you stand.
You know, like, don't let me date you for 3 months and then I find out, like, you were a man. Like, oh, wow. You know what I mean? Right. We can chill. I don't know if I want to date you anymore, but you know what I mean? But we can chill.
My best friends. My bestie over here.
Right.
He dresses me.
Yeah. He dresses me.
Puts me up.
Anyway, so that's the end of What's Up With That, guys. Thanks for hanging out. If you did not tap the screen, it's okay. It's not. But please do. Just tap it like that rapidly so you see the beautiful color rainbow hearts. Anyway, we'll see you in our next segment. And then we'll pass it off.
All right, peeps. Thank you for joining in our segment for What's Up With That. I hope you learned something. Feel free to call in. Hey, pay attention. We got some really neat things, some good things, some hot things that are going to be coming up in our near future. So keep looking and keep watching and check Facebook and Instagram. And look around. Before you know it, we'll be in a place near you. So thanks again for joining us. What's Up With That? This is Sight, ladies and gentlemen, where we try to get it right. We'll see you next time.